Hello everybody, it's a cursing seamstress. I'm on my way to work in just a little bit. I have to make a run to Walmart first for some elastic, and I'll show you why. So this has been an interesting week. We've had, well, last week, horrific hurricanes in North Carolina. And I don't think I said this, I don't think I've made a video since the hurricane headed up to North Carolina, the western part of the state. I live in the northeastern part of the state, which is close to the Norfolk area. So we just had rain. There were some tornado warnings that I got on my phone. But otherwise, we were really unscathed. My grandson, who goes to the School of Science and Math in Morganton, which is 5 hours southwest of here, they were hit pretty badly, kind of surprisingly, really. And they were out of power for, I think, about a week. They had flooding in some of the buildings. Of course, they didn't have internet. And so it ended up that it was fall break, so that happened at a good time. And he said that by the time he left campus to come home for fall break that Friday, there were 14 trees down on campus. So they were greatly affected. They started accepting students back yesterday, so he went back yesterday. And I think everything's up and running at the school. And then, of course, the hurricane in Florida last night. And it seems like, I haven't watched the news in the past 3 hours or so, but it seems like it was less devastating than what they thought it might be, which is wonderful. But I'll watch the news when I get home from work and learn more about that. All right, so I've been sewing. I had talked to you about this pattern before. This pattern is a wonderful pattern. I love it, love it, love it. And this is the Made for Mermaids Juniper Jumper. I think that's what it's called. It is so simple to make. I told you and showed you, I believe, that the first one I made with a knit, because it is for knits, but it was a knit that had no stretch, so it didn't fit me. Since then I've made two more, and I'm wearing one right now. You can wear this without a top underneath it if you want to, but I wear a sports bra and they tend to come up kind of high. So I stuck a shirt on. I'll stand up. But this is so wonderful a pattern. It's curvaceous, flattering, I think. I did go up a size, and I think I did that because I was afraid to make it again and have it be too small. But I think I could probably go down a size. But this is fine because I am wearing a top under it. So, you know, the top takes up a little bit of space. So I'll stand up and let you see what it looks like. This is really a cheapy kind of fabric. I got it from Fabric Mart. I got, I think, 2 or 3 fabrics from them, and they're all real polyester-y, which is not my favorite thing. You know, I guess I'm sure I saw that they were polyester, but it's okay. I mean, it's not real picky or anything like that. So I'll stand up and show this to you. My sewing room is an absolute wreck. So I'm wearing this to school today. Nice and curvy here. It's a little, well, it comes just in the middle of my knee, I think. Hope you can see that. So the back is kind of low too. But you can, actually I brought the back up. You have different necklines. I think I did the highest neckline. I don't remember. But there are 2 choices of necklines for both the front and the back. The other one I made, I'll have to show you next time because I am way too lazy to go put it on or even to drag it out here. But it was with a real pretty, like a tan floral fabric, and I like that fabric a lot. This was easy to sew with. It's extremely stretchy. This has 4-way stretch. It did fine. The one thing that I'm sure people pay attention better than I do, but the seam allowance for around the neckline and the armscye is 1/4 inch. If you do more than that, you may have a hard time turning this out using the burrito method, which is what they show you how to do. But it'll be really tight unless you do a smaller seam allowance. All right, so what I've been working on today is a pattern from Love Notions, and gosh, I don't think I know the name of this pattern. This is, I think this is the newest pattern. Oh wait, it's called the Tamber. Timbre Top Dress. So I made the dress. The pattern is fine. And so nothing I say is to be critical of the pattern. The pattern's fine. This fabric I bought at Hobby Lobby months ago, and it was in the back. It was against the wall, and it was so beautiful. It's a woven fabric, and the pattern calls for a woven fabric. And I really thought the colors were so beautiful. But it was really lightweight and crinkly, and I remember thinking, I wonder if I'm going to have a hard time sewing with this fabric. But I bought it anyway, and I did have a hard time, not so much sewing with it, but cutting out the pattern. The pattern pieces for the version I did, of course, Love Notions, they're so great. They give you all kinds of versions. The version I made was to keep it simple because I knew it was going to be hard to manipulate this fabric. So the version I made is just the front being on the fold and the back being on the fold. I did short sleeves, and the neck is a gathered neck. There was an option for a button-up front with a placket. I knew I did not want to do that with this fabric. So I went the easiest, simplest way, but this fabric, you know, it's crinkly and you really can't iron out the crinkles. So I just, you know, worked with it the best that I could. And I think I probably made this bigger than I needed to. I've sewn up the sides. I've done the neckline. The sleeves are in. So I'll just show you what it looks like. It looks really wide. I'm not going to take off any more from the sides until I do the neckline because actually that's not true. I'm not going to hem it until I do the neckline and until I try it on me and see what it's going to look like. So the sleeves I did, I'm not really clear if these sleeves need to be, I think these are just they've got flutter sleeves, they've got bishop sleeves, they've got a short sleeve, which is what I cut. And then they also have a puff sleeve, I think it is. So I think this is not going to have elastic in it, I'm pretty sure. So this will just be hemmed. And so this is a raglan style, so the sleeves come together, you know, to help make the neckline. Yes, this neckline is big because the neckline is going to be, it's going to have elastic threaded through here. So where I had to vary was, hold on. I had to sneeze. I have a cold, and I knew yesterday actually when I got up, within an hour or so, I had a headache, and I'm not a person who gets headaches, and I wonder, why do I have a headache? And then this morning I realized, and I have allergies all the time anyway, but this morning I realized that it's actually a cold. And I think there's one going around. Not that I know anybody I've been around who have one, but I'm with students, 4 days a week. Okay. So where I vary, I actually found this not really confusing, but once you get the sleeves on, you've got a raw edge neckline here. And then what you do is you put on bias binding, or you can make your own. There's no such thing as making my own with this fabric. That would be disastrous. So I had some blue, which matched pretty nicely, and but it called for single fold, and I had double fold. So what I did, my binding is wider than it should be. So I had the double fold, and I opened it totally out so that it was just folded in half, and sewed it onto the front, turned it over, and then they have you match it up like this, and just matched it up here by folding one over and just making sure that there were no raw edges where the bias tape met. And then when you flip it over, that's when you leave a 2-inch opening like I have done here to thread the elastic through. It calls for, I think it's a 1/4 inch elastic. I'm not going to do that because this is so much wider, and a 1/4 inch is just going to flip all over the place, and that's going to be aggravating. So that's why I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to get, I think, a 1/2 inch elastic, maybe 3/4 inch to go through here. And then, tighten this up to wherever it needs to be. After that, all I'll need to do is to hem the sleeves and hem the bottom. And again, I may, just depending on how this looks, I don't want it to look frumpy, but I mean, this is an easy breezy fabric, so I want it to look, easy breezy on me. But anyway, so this will be all gathered up, and then this is going to hit me, if I just do a narrow hem, probably about 4 inches below my knees. That's good. There is a version that has elastic in here. I think you create a channel for elastic at the waistline. I didn't want to do that either with this. I really just wanted to get this done, try it out, and probably I will make it again. I do like the placket part, where it buttons up the front. So I will probably do that version, but it will not be out of any fabric that resembles this. So this was just so shifty. Trying to get the front and the back on the fold was really hard. And I just kept trying to, flatten out so that the bottom layer was smoothed out, equal to the top layer. But it was just really hard to do. And after I would cut it, I would flip it over and then check the back to see if there were buckles or anything like that. And if there were, I would just undo some pins, flatten it out, and make sure I cut it even with the top. So yeah, I don't like sewing with fabric that is, real shifty, but I really, really do love the look of this fabric. And I'll just show it to you again. I don't even know what it is. I'm pretty sure it's all cotton. And it's a light blue with a dark red and a whitish color. It's kind of a whitish gray. I'm showing you the back, but it doesn't really matter. They're not the same. The front does dip down Actually, you know, yeah, the front does dip down a little bit. So, so that's pretty much what I know. I did make another Love Notions. I'm trying to think of what the name. It's a cardigan. I don't remember the specific name of it. I had enough fabric of the dress that I made just like this one, the Juniper Jumper, and so I cut out a cardigan, and I think the two will look really good together, especially if I don't wear a shirt under it and I just want to have a cover up on top of it. I'll show you that next time. So that's all I know. I'm going to go ahead and hit Walmart and then go on to school. Can't think of anything else. I think I'm glad everything's kind of calmed down weather-wise. We have had wonderful weather here. I think for the past probably, I don't know, 7-8 days, we have had no rain. I think that's true. I had sod put down, sod delivered, and then somebody to come lay the sod, and that was on, I think that was on Tuesday. So I've had to water the sod twice a day, and I have been really good about it, except for yesterday. I think I didn't water it in the morning. I watered it in the afternoon. And part of the reason is that the mosquitoes are terrible. It is starting to cool off a little bit, but I was out this morning. I think it was in the maybe the low 60s or upper 50s, and a mosquito still got me. As a matter of fact, I think he bit me like 2 or 3 times right in the same spot. And I react a lot to insect bites. I mean, they itch really badly and swell up and, you know, all that good stuff. All right, I'm going to go. I appreciate you watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.